What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And very briefly, before we jump into the video talking about my treasure map teams and my treasure map playthrough, here is just a quick video as like an amendment to my treasure map preparation where we looked at more accessible teams. This is a team that you might have a little bit more success with, as we now know that the interrupt of the final fight versus Gecko Moria is slightly different to what we had expected, where the enemy will actually react to an attack boost and also a chain lock or a chain boundary. So the best way forward is to use Blackbeard on battle 2, do not use him on battle 3, and ideally you just have to tank the bind, which you can go ahead and do, because if you have the Rayleigh support attached to the Monkey D. Luffy character, you can get rid of the bind that is inflicted to you on the final boss stage, and by using the cooldown reduction of Devon, reducing the cooldown of Katakuri, and then Katakuri reduces the cooldown of Luffy, who can remove the attack down, allowing you to get an attack boost for your crew. Blackbeard is a captain. The treasure map Blackbeard enables you to get around 2 turns of special reverse. This is probably the better team that you should be building for the final boss versus Gecko Moria, or the intrusion boss versus Gecko Moria. Just wanted to put this at the start of the video for those people who are still finding it kind of difficult. This team should be able to get the job done. So let's go ahead and jump into the video where we have our treasure map playthrough against Gecko Moria. Now, the teams that you guys see in this video, I mean, they're essentially the exact same teams you guys would have already seen in my previous video, though there is some slight tweaks. I mean, specifically with this team against Gecko Moria, we've actually taken out the Katarina Devon, which was on this team normally, for Trafalgar Law, and the reason for that is because the main reason why Devon was on the team in the first place is because she does provide a cooldown reduction to our Driven and Powerhouse characters, which is what we needed for Shiryu. You need some type of special that can reduce 1 cooldown to your crew in the way that this team works. And luckily, Trafalgar Law actually does that, so we can just use him instead of Katarina Devon, considering Law is a slightly higher point booster compared to the Devon. But, you know, as we said at the start of the video, going through a little bit of a different team composition for the more accessible video, yeah, the condition for this interrupt is so stupid. I don't understand why they've made it in such a way that if you use Blackbeard's special on the last stage, Moria will interrupt it. Now, it does make sense in a certain sense, because, you know, you're supposed to use 1 Blackbeard on battle 2, you hit 2 perfects, you get the chain boundary on the next turn, and then you're supposed to use a second Blackbeard special so that it doesn't activate the interrupt. But for people that don't have 2 Blackbeards, it's going to be very difficult to do that. So yeah, I really have to say, Bandai, you really dropped the ball on this one. Don't like the design choice there. And just because of the fact that there's really annoying gimmicks of like -5 cooldown with the special reverse on battle 2, like that is really dumb, basically requiring you to run multiple cooldown reducing units in a way. It's just really poor design. I think that the intrusion battle versus Moria is just terrible, 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 terrible design. However, the other bosses I think are designed appropriately in a way where, yeah, they make you think and they make you make some interesting design choices in terms of your team building, but they're definitely not unbeatable, and I think a lot of people are going to struggle with the Moria fight in particular. But moving on to Vasco's shot, this is a pretty straightforward fight. There are a lot of different gimmicks here though. There is increased defense, there is a barrier, there is special bind, there is really annoying slot change that you cannot manipulate. So yeah, this is a pretty annoying fight, but it's not that bad either. And the way that we're getting around it is we're not really doing anything to the barrier. We have Odin on the team, which does remove the barrier, but by using the Dogstorm as our captain, we can just use his captain ability, which bypasses defensive effects for our normal attacks. And then if we need extra damage, we have the Luffy special, which can provide an orb boosting effect to our Odin and our Roger, which will actually give us a pretty substantial amount of damage increase. And I think this team should last the entire duration of this treasure map without too much change, I don't think. If there does need to be change, the changes will be made, but this is going to be a pretty fast team that really shouldn't have any issues throughout the entire duration of this map. And now we go ahead and have a look at the next team against Avalo Pizarro. This one we're using the brand new Big Mom, which came out about a month or 2 ago now, and she's fine, and this team is acceptable, but it's not my favorite team. You know, it is annoying that Big Mom is kind of like a pseudo speed captain, but at the same time, she's kind of not a speed captain because of all these stupid animations that have to play at the start of the quest. It's really annoying. However, we do get to use the super type specials of Big Mom on stage 1 and stage 2 to wave clear, which enables us to reach battle 3 very quickly. And you know, you are given a 1.2 times attack and all boosting effect, which really does suck. And also you get given pretty bad slots normally, but because of Big Mom and the way that she works, we get a full board of similar slots. The enemy can't change them, so we'll you know, maintain a full board of matching slots here, which is pretty great. And we have a conditional boost with Karissa Thomas, a delayed conditional boost, which is pretty nice. We don't have any color affinity boost, so I actually might put a support on my team, which will actually allow me to get a color affinity boost, just to get a little bit of extra damage, because normally Killer would do that, but I think you need a full team of driven characters to actually get the affinity boost. So not really an ideal situation there. We do have Perispero, which does give us a chain boosting effect, but you know, Perispero is kind of just here just to enable the super class or super type special of Big Mom to actually be activated. And then we move on to the next fight, which is going to be against Karissa Thomas. Now, this is a very easy fight because of the 6+ Sakazuki, who obviously, if you just played the game, you actually got him for free, which is awesome. And just by running double Sakazuki, you're not going to have really any issues here. By running double Akainu, the only real thing you need to know is that you need some type of way to get around paralysis. And the way that I'm personally doing that is I do have the Hancock Nami Robin, which their special ability does enable us to remove it by itself, but to make things a little faster, we just have the support of Bato, which enables us to remove all of that paralysis innately, and then by hitting a couple perfects, we're good, because as long as you hit perfects, it kind of will do end of turn damage, allowing you to kill the Karissa Thomas through that resilience buff, making it very, very easy. We do have the Arena Caesar as well with double special activation that enables us to wave clear the first 2 stages, again making it as fast as we possibly can. And then Kaido, of course, is here just because he's a relatively high point booster, giving us more points overall for the treasure map run. So a pretty awesome team without too many issues that you have to worry about. I don't think I'll have to change this team at all throughout the entire duration of this map. And then the final of the Battle Rush bosses is against Shiryu, which is also kind of simple. I mean, I say that as I do have Trafalgar Law. He does make it very, very easy. But there are a lot of key characters you can use in order to get around this. Having Law and Beppo, those are the 2 key characters that make this fight a lot easier. We do have Zorojiro, who is not a boosted unit, but he does enable us to get the wave clearing for the first 2 stages, once again, to get us to that final stage as fast as we possibly can. And then we also have just a couple of boosted units, Yamato Ace, as well as the Chaka, which is the brand new free-to-play character from Pirate Rumble. Again, just kind of here because he is a boosted unit that is a quick unit. I believe he's also free spirit, so he is actually boosted by Law's captain ability. But of course, we have Law's special, we have the Beppo special, that gives us the full board of slots and the attack boost, the chain boost and everything. And you can also use his super class special as well, which enables you to get the, you know, the conditional boost as well, which is ridiculously good. And then from here, we get to talk about the final boss, which is against Blackbeard. And Blackbeard is very straightforward. There's actually, like, there's not really too much you have to worry about. Of course, there is, like, heavy bind that happens on both Battle 2 and on Battle 3. And if you have your own Blackbeard, and you can actually use your own Blackbeard on the final stage. So that's actually kind of nice. You don't have to worry about any stupid interrupts that may occur here. So that's at least something to note, that you don't really have to worry about it too much. So, you know, as long as you have some pretty awesome characters, you know, you're not going to really find it too difficult. And especially in my case, luckily, because I was very, very blessed to have pulled all of the boosters, so of course it's going to be a pretty straightforward run here. Especially having Kid's kind of nice, because you can use his special here on stage 2 to get those matching slots on our driven and striker characters, and then we can use the Blackbeard to unbind us, which also gives us the chain boundary effect. And then Sabo is mainly here because he's the only, well, he's the highest booster in the treasure map that removes paralysis here. So it is kind of annoying that they make it in such a way where you kind of have to use Sabo when Sabo really isn't boosted by the team at all. Very, very odd choice there. And then of course Shiryu and Burgess, while they're really, really cool, they actually don't really do anything here. The only real reason why they would be here is because they increase your damage. They don't actually provide gimmick removal or any utility at all, which is very, very weird. Typically, the boosters are there to remove gimmicks, and in this case, they're just here for pure damage increase, which is really bizarre. But that's going to wrap it up for me. Thank you so much for watching the video, and if you guys did enjoy it, make sure you go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all of the content that I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.